planning on visiting Osaka, and you're wondering, should I book the RIHGA Royal Hotel? Well, stick around. I'm going to tell you all you need to know about this hotel. We stayed there in September 2023. We had 2 separate rooms, we had room service, and we also got access to the VIP lounge, and we had dinner in the Nakanoshima restaurant. As always, with my videos, I'll tell you how much it cost. So let's jump in. The RIHGA Royal Hotel is located in the Kita district of Osaka. That's the same area that the main Osaka train station is. It's located on an island which is in the middle of the Tosohori River. To get to the hotel, there is actually a free shuttle bus that you can get, which goes between the Osaka station, which is a JR line station, back to the hotel, and that runs every 15 minutes from 7:30 in the morning until 10 in the evening, but between 10 a.m. and 9 p.m. it's every 6 minutes. This was super helpful, and we used this shuttle bus quite a few times when we were there, just to get to the shops and the restaurants, but also when we were leaving, it was really helpful to get our suitcases to the JR station so we could go to the next city in Japan. If you want to watch my video all about the JR Pass and whether it's worthwhile travelling between different cities in Japan, then watch that video. It was also very close to Nakanoshima underground station, and actually you could access this from below the hotel. There was a way to get straight to the platform via the shops that was underground. One of the things we really liked about the hotel was how friendly all the concierge staff were. So when we actually arrived in Japan, we arrived into Tokyo, we got a bullet train to Osaka, and then we arrived at the hotel. We didn't actually have our suitcases as they were left in London. British Airways didn't manage to get them on our flight. So we were quite tired and we just wanted to get in our room, have a shower, get changed. Well, we couldn't get changed into anything. Luckily, we'd packed some spare clothes in our hand luggage. But the concierge staff was super helpful. They also recommended where we could go shopping to buy clothes. And yeah, we actually only stayed in the hotel for the first night in Osaka. And then the second night, we went up into the mountains. We went to Koyasan, which is a Buddhist village, traditional Buddhist accommodation. If you want to watch my video on that, I don't think I've made it by the point of this, but I'll link it up there afterwards. Let's talk about the rooms. So we actually booked 2 separate rooms just for 1 night each. And what I didn't realise is when we booked the first room, called the Deluxe Floor 14 to 16, which I thought was going to be nicer, but actually this room wasn't as good. It was quite small, compared to the second room that we stayed in on our 3rd night in Osaka, and this was the standard double natural comfort. So this was on the 19th to the 22nd floor. So if you're going to look at a room, I'd recommend the natural comfort room over the deluxe. The room was pretty standard. It came with all the things you'd normally expect. Big thing in Japan is you get these robes you can dress into, almost like dressing gowns that come in every single hotel room we stayed at over the entire 2 weeks. So it was nice to kind of get into that, especially when we didn't have many clothes with us when arriving. So because we booked on hotels.com, we actually got access to the VIP lounge at the hotel. It was actually really nice. It was on the 20th floor and you could help yourself to complimentary snacks, and also there was mint flavoured Coca-Cola, which I rate. Didn't even know that was a flavour, but in Japan it is. So yeah, it was definitely worth booking through hotels.com for that benefit, because my partner actually had a work call and so needed the room, and so I was able to go up to that lounge and just enjoy the view. That's also where I filmed this time lapse, which is amazing because there was just nobody else in there. Moving on to the food. So on the first night when we arrived, obviously we were quite jet lagged and we didn't have our suitcases, so we just ordered a room service. I ordered the tempura with noodles, which was nice. To be honest, there wasn't a huge amount of choice by the time we were ready to order room service, so we were quite limited. The next day, we didn't actually wake up in time for breakfast, so we've sampled the breakfast on our second stay there, on the 3rd night, 4th morning, and there was a couple of different restaurants to choose from. So we went to Remone, which was downstairs on the ground floor, and there was a huge buffet there, a selection of English, Japanese, like lots of different cuisines. I think actually probably one of the most extensive buffets I've ever seen. You can even get chocolate as well, I think, available. So the breakfast buffet was good, and it also they had these cool robots that were going around and cleaning up all your plates or you put your trays on and they clean up all the plates. So I'm interested to know what's your favourite breakfast that you've had in a hotel. For me, when I look at hotels, the breakfast choice is definitely something I consider. For me, it's very important to have a good breakfast in the morning. I want to make sure before I've left the hotel, I'm ready to go explore wherever I'm staying. Write to your recommendation of the best hotel breakfast you've had in the comments below. I want to have a look. So on the second night that we stayed at the hotel, we decided to treat ourselves. And maybe we left it a bit late. It was around 9 p.m. we went up to the Nakanoshima restaurant, and they had their set menus. And so we went for the 9-course set menu, which I think was probably one of the best meals we had in Japan. It wasn't the best, but it was one of the best. And I think a couple of reasons for that. Firstly, the view was stunning from outside in the night with all the buildings lit up. This is on the 30th floor, I believe, this restaurant. And yeah, the food was just amazing. So we had an appetizer, scallops with grated radish, 2 types of sashimi, seasonal small dishes, grilled barracuda with mushrooms, kudos dumplings with lotus root, and Japanese pilaf with chestnut bulbi and dessert. So it was definitely a lot of food. Also, the lady who served us was wonderful. She explained lots of different things about the food we were eating, although we were the only people in the restaurant. What did we do that was nearby the hotel? So we only stayed in Osaka for 2 days. So we went to Osaka Castle. That was around 4 stops on the Nakanoshima line. That's the underground station that's right below the hotel. We went to the castle. We went up to the viewing deck that's at the top. I would definitely recommend this. You've got beautiful views of the city from up there. The current castle is a rebuild due to fires that have happened, and you find that that's quite common with a lot of the castles across Japan. But there was some interesting artifacts in there and some history. There's quite a few things you can do quite locally from there. The shuttle bus was really helpful, especially in terms of us going further into main Osaka station where there was lots of shops and lots to do. All in all, how much did it cost? So our first night we were in a double non-smoking deluxe room, floors 14 to 16. That was around £108. The second night we stayed in a standard double natural comfort. That was on floor 19 to 22, and that was around £104. So it was cheaper actually for us to stay on the Monday higher up than it was for us to stay on the Saturday night. The 9-course dinner that we had in Nakanoshima restaurant was around £68 per person. So it was pricier, but it wasn't actually our most expensive meal in Japan. Or if you want to see what that is, look at the Prince Park Hotel in Tokyo video. You'll find out there how much we spent on the most expensive meal of the holiday. But £68 for some really nice sushi, and it was really good quality and also amazing views I was happy with. All in all, a good hotel, very friendly staff. The concierge staff were there to help with whatever we needed. But yeah, also very helpful as well if you are moving from city to city across Japan with that free shuttle bus. If you were going to be staying in Osaka for more than 2 days, I'd probably suggest being somewhere else, just because the location of it was quite out from any of the shops or restaurants. You couldn't really walk to them. It would take you more than 20 minutes to walk anywhere to eat, really, because it is a bit isolated on that island on its own. So I would suggest if you're going to be staying in Osaka for at least a couple of days, you probably want to be more local to where there's other amenities without having to get on public transport. But that's just my preference. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. And as always, please subscribe if you want to see what my new travel videos are going to be out every Monday. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.